Normally, I just analyze the big WWE pay-per-views that happened, but last night on Monday Night Raw was so insane. So much stuff happened. I felt like I had to do a video on it here. No, this is not going to be a weekly fixture of my channel. I'm just going to do, like, if it's a special Raw or special SmackDown, like a season premiere or a draft, or if it was just really good, like last night, that I would think it's video worthy. So here's Monday Night Raw right here and I'm going to tell you what I think and tell you everything that happened. So our opening segment, I was expecting, okay, maybe Damian Priest, maybe Drew McIntyre, maybe Liv Morgan about to appear in like 4 segments per show. No, Seth freaking Rollins made his dramatic return to WWE right here. I was not expecting this. It was not like remotely hinted that Seth Rollins would be here, and I'm very excited. Seth is probably like top 5 in my favorite wrestlers of all time, probably like number 4. It had to be. But Seth Rollins is back. He hypes up the crowd a little bit. They sing his song. Oh, he's looking a lot more fresh in the beard. It's not like everywhere now. It's more like just a fresh fade, I guess. And then out comes El Campeon with his championship, I guess, if you will. Damian Priest. He interrupts Seth Rollins and obviously the opening segment, and they go back and forth about like how Damian Priest wanted to cash in on Seth Rollins, how Seth Rollins just generally thinks he was a better champion than Damian Priest, defending it more consistently, which I can somewhat agree with that. But Damian Priest challenges Seth Rollins to a match at Money in the Bank for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth Rollins agrees they're gonna have a World Championship match, which I'm very excited about. I thought that'll be very good. They did wrestle on Raw one time for the world title, like when Seth was still champion, but I'm glad they're having like a big pay-per-view match. That's gonna be great. An opening match right here was Chad Gable going up against Bronson Reed. How this came about was Chad Gable went to Adam Pearce backstage and demanded an Intercontinental title match, or at least like being like in contention for a shot at the championship. Adam Pearce said, "You have to get through this guy to get to that place," and it was Braun Strowman. This match went a lot of the ways you'd expect. Chad Gable was getting tossed around by Braun Strowman, and to end the match, Braun Strowman like picked up Chad Gable, who was running off the ropes, and then spun him around and slammed him, which I thought was really wicked. I was like, but one of the best running power slams he's ever hit. My goodness, people say the running power slam like isn't an impactful finisher. I think he could be doing something better, but I also think that that was an amazing end to the match. And after the match, Chad Gable was like mad at Alpha Academy, taking out all his anger on them, taking Maxine Dupree's crutch, throwing it out of the ring, and demanding her to walk out of the ring. My goodness. He slapped Akira Tozawa across the face, and Otis would turn around because he was helping Maxine Dupree out of the ring. He would turn around and shove Chad Gable into the corner. He fell back like super, super hard. My goodness. This was crazy. I'm glad Otis is finally turning on Chad Gable, finally gonna go out on his own maybe. And the Alpha Academy actually packed up their bags and left Chad Gable. Yeah, I'm glad that I did say this was dragging in the Clash of the Castle review, but I'm glad that they finally pulled the trigger and did it. I think this was the right time to do it right here. Our next match right here, I think this was, Io Sky went up against Kiana James and LWO's Zelina Vega to determine a spot in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This match was pretty good, filled with high flying action right here from Zelina Vega and Io Sky. And then like Liv Morgan actually came out on the ramp. I swear, dude, Liv Morgan is in like 4 segments per show, dude. It's absolutely mental. Literally like 4 segments per show doing stuff with Dom, doing stuff with Zelina. I personally think she's a little overexposed. That's just my opinion. But Io Sky was able to capitalize off the distraction by Liv because she has something going with Zelina Vega, and she was able to pin Kiana James for the victory right here. Io Sky's going for the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I'm very excited about. I'm a big fan of Io Sky, and she winning the Money in the Bank briefcase last year, and she did some crazy stuff last year, so maybe she can do some more crazy stuff this year. Our next moment right here was Sami Zayn coming out talking about retaining his Intercontinental Championship at Clash of the Castle. Dude, he like emphasizes every 2 syllables in a sentence. And I think that's very like very like electric. Makes his promos electric. Man, that's cool. Also, speaking of cool, here's the new fix up I did to this Sami Zayn. I put the Elite 91 jacket on the Elite 106. Looks pretty good. But he would get interrupted by Braun Breaker and Sheamus. So he talked to Adam Pearce and got a match between Braun Breaker and Sheamus for a little later in the show. And I guess it's like number one contendership for the championship. But we didn't have like a definitive winner because Ludwig Kaiser would pull Sheamus out of the ring, start attacking his leg and everything, and Braun Breaker would hit a spear on Sheamus. And then Ludwig Kaiser looked to capitalize. He's going to dropkick his leg into the steel steps. And then around the corner, here comes Braun Breaker, like probably like 20 miles an hour, spears Ludwig Kaiser. That was absolutely insane, dude. Just like Braun Breaker's so fast. He's so awesome. I hope to see him in the world title mix soon. But Braun Breaker's absolutely crazy. I also want to mention how Braun Breaker like jumped from here and then like took out Sheamus with the clothesline over the announce table. That was absolutely cool. Our next match right here, it might be a little far away because of my tripod and everything. But Dakota Kai teamed up with Damage Control Cohort, Kairi Sane, to face Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. I know she's called Katana Chance, but I like the name Casey Catanzaro better. She's not a sword. She is Casey Catanzaro from American Ninja Warrior. That's how I know her. But yeah, Dakota Kai. But unfortunately, we get pinned in this match after the after party from Katana Chance, Casey Catanzaro, and Kaden Carter. And yeah, it's like kind of unfortunate to see her get pinned all the time. I feel like Dakota Kai's treated like the weak link of the group, and I think she's really good. I feel like the main roster audience hasn't gotten a good like glimpse of Dakota Kai yet, like what she can do. And Damage Control, Io Sky's been saying Damage Control needs to change, so possibly maybe like Dakota Kai leaves and goes out on her own. That would be pretty cool to see. Maybe entering the Money in the Bank ladder match, hopefully. Our next match right here was I think it was Dragon Lee going up against Carlito. I wish Carlito would bring back his old theme song. I'm just gonna start off with that. Just like dude, his old theme song was so classic. His new one, it's not like a bad theme song, but it's not like a crazy like characterized theme song. I think they could do something a little more unique with Carlito. Because like all the songs these days have like a phrase at the start of it, and that's the same as Carlito. Do you know what cool is? It's kind of bland. But towards the end, Liv Morgan actually came out and distracted Dominic Mysterio, appeared in yet another segment on this show. So, and Dragon Lee was distracted, so was the referee. So JD McDonough was able to pull him off the top rope, and he had a very nasty landing on the turnbuckle, if you will. Very nasty. And Carlito was able to hit the backstabber off the ropes, which is pretty cool to end the match. And yeah, it's good. It's cool to see Carlito get a win, because I like Carlito. I think he could be doing a little more. But yeah, him and the Judgment Day ought to be pretty interesting. And then after that, Dominic Mysterio was looking around for his cow jacket. Keep in mind, Liv Morgan was wearing it, and he knew that full well. So he was basically just looking for Liv Morgan. And then he found Liv, and like she demanded that Dominic Mysterio take the jacket off for her, and that's the only way she would give it back. So Dominic obliged, regretfully, because Damian Priest came around the corner and disrupted what was happening. But Dominic was able to explain it. Damien said, "Just take the jacket," so he did. And yeah, Damian Priest sort of after that was like, "Leave the poor guy alone. He doesn't want anything to do with you." But Liv Morgan decides otherwise. I like the idea for this storyline. I just don't like Liv Morgan. Uh, our next segment right here, this was super duper unexpected. Drew McIntyre came out because obviously CM Punk screwed Drew McIntyre. He wasn't at Monday Night Raw. I'm sure Drew McIntyre would have been mad hunting for CM Punk. My goodness. I think Punk's going to be on SmackDown this Friday. I think they said that, and he might be cleared to compete. So we'll see what happens there. But Drew McIntyre quits WWE, quits quits WWE, and after like saying screw this company, then he quit. And then like he tried to be talked out of it like by Adam Pearce and Triple H, but it just wasn't to be. He was just so serious about leaving WWE. I am 99% sure this is not real, but that this is like a very unexpected turn in the storyline, and it's very intriguing. Anything to do with Drew McIntyre is intriguing. That's why he's like one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He's always the highlight of Monday Night Raw. I personally think Seth Rollins was the highlight of Monday Night Raw this week, but Drew McIntyre is definitely always close. And yeah, he deactivated all his social media accounts, so that's unlike him because he's Mr. Social Media. But yeah, Drew McIntyre has quit WWE. I think he's just taking time off to spend time with his wife a little bit because she had like emergency surgery, so maybe he just wants to spend a little more time with her, and then maybe come back and target possibly then World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. And our final match, and what was supposed to be the final segment, and then something else happened, which I will talk about. It was Jey Uso, Yeet versus Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. This was an awesome match. They gave it a lot of time, a lot of action with all three people in the ring, just like the women's triple threat match was. And this was awesome. Dominic Mysterio tried to cost his dad a match once again, tried to pull him off the top rope, but Ray wasn't having. He was beating on Dom. But here comes JD, here comes Carlito, and then here comes Braun Strowman chasing the rest of the Judgment Day out of the arena, leaving just Finn Balor in the ring along with Rey Mysterio and Jey Uso. He would hit a coup de grace on Finn Balor, on Rey Mysterio, and then on the other corner, Jey Uso was there. He hit an Uso splash on both men because Finn Balor was trying to cover Rey Mysterio, and Jey Uso hit a Uso splash and to pick up the victory, which I'm excited about. I'm excited to see Jey Uso in Money in the Bank. I don't think he'll win, but it's good to see him in Money in the Bank. I'm a big fan of Jey Uso. He's kind of goofy, but at the same time, I'm a big fan of Jey Uso. And, it would be cool to see him win the Money in the Bank. But yeah, he was yeeting with the crowd a little bit, and then they were getting a hard shot of the camera, like the hard cam shot, and then out came, well, not right away, but the lights went out. Here comes this lady who like looks at the Bray Wyatt lantern, Bray Wyatt, I guess, lantern, then points to a really bright door, which was very reminiscent of how Brody Lee used to be during his like entrances in AEW. And then it goes backstage to the absolute devastation that had been caused. There was a dude in like a Mercy the Buzzard mask, which I think was Dexter Loomis. There was a dude in like a gas mask, which I think was Eric Rowan. There was also a dude in like a rabbit mask that was like had a hammer and everything. But I'm not sure who that was. That could be Joe Gacy. That's supposed to be Joe Gacy right there. And yeah, they zoom in on Chad Gable, who is dead. I hate to talk like that, but Chad Gable had like a massive gash on the side of his head. I'm like, my goodness, they had to kill off Chad Gable like this. This was just not Chad Gable's night right here. But then we see Uncle Howdy walk past Chad Gable. Chad Gable is an absolute goat, by the way, because he just stood there completely motionless in the dark with Uncle Howdy. I would have been running away, dude. But Uncle Howdy came out. Obviously, Uncle Howdy is more than likely Bo Dallas. I think Eric Rowan's in it, Dexter Loomis, Nikki Cross, and then Joe Gacy. That's what I think the Wyatt Six is. There's technically five of them. I don't know if they're gonna like add a new member or maybe like I don't know, but it's five people technically, and yeah, this was Bray Wyatt's idea, but before he sadly passed away, this was his idea to create this group consisting of him giving some underutilized, darker, spookier wrestlers some more TV time. But, unfortunately, that never came to fruition. But now they're keeping his idea alive, keeping the genius that is Bray Wyatt alive, and that's really good to see. At first, I was like, when the report started circulating that they were going to do the Wyatt Six, and like Uncle Howdy still. I'm like that. This could go really good or it could go really bad. It could be really disrespectful to Bray, but I think they're going to do this right. Bo Dallas right here, obviously the little brother of Bray Wyatt, continuing this on with Bray Wyatt's old friend, and his other just spooky supernatural characters. And I think this is going to be good. Who are they going to target next? I mean, obviously they targeted Chad Gable, but like, are they going to target world champions? Are they going to target maybe the Intercontinental Champion? Who knows? This is truly an unpredictable storyline, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. This was an awesome segment right here, and overall, just an awesome episode of Monday Night Raw. I was very into this episode. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 9. I thought this was an amazing Monday Night Raw, with the Wyatt Six showing up, the Liv Morgan storyline continuing to heat up, Otis, but like turning on Chad Gable, Jey Uso going to Money in the Bank, Io Sky going to Money in the Bank, Drew McIntyre quitting, Seth Rollins returning. This was just an insane episode of Raw, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 right here. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And I'm currently working on stop motion test number 4, which should be coming out soon. But where's Gunther though? I just realized like Ludwig Kaiser came out, but where's Gunther? He was like the king of the ring. And then like he was gonna challenge Damian Priest, but he's not like there anymore. I don't know what's going on with Gunther. But yeah, this has been Monday Night Raw, and I'm very excited to see where things go after this because this was a very intriguing episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeet! Right there. Yeet!